Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Robert John Waters and I am an environmental scientist. I have serious concerns about the health and future of the human race and the health of our planet. I have documented these concerns in the following proclamation, which I will read to you now. This is a proclamation for the conservation of life. The world must start to live in peace now. We are risking the lives of our children, mothers, and families everywhere. We are gravely threatening our Earth's environment and stealing life from other species. As scientists, we just don't know the impact of war on life to the degree that we should. We keep making critical adjustments to the sizes and power of weapons only to further our uncertainty. One fatal mistake now, and we could all be doomed with the threat of a larger, more impactful World War III in sight. Our human family must now learn and realize that we live on one planet with one air supply and one water supply shared by all, and that we all suffer a devastating blow when any radioactivity is released into our atmosphere in both small and large quantities. We just do not think or reflect on the consequences of these acts in war. What we don't know is how the deadly fallout of all modern-day weaponry disturbs the homeostasis or balance on the planet. It has to keep balance. What we do know is that every action that we take that upsets the natural balances causes a reaction by our planet to make her own adjustments to maintain homeostasis in order to continue to provide us comforts that we need until she can't. And right now, folks, she is at an alarming point of not being able to continue to keep us comfortable. She's already moving her own energy around in the form of earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, and internal shifting to degrees of discomfort for many who complain about it. If we continue to disturb the natural state of the elements of earth, water, and air, we will upset health on this planet severely. There is already something very wrong going on with the natural health of our human bodies and our planet, yet we continue to push the elements to their limit. We must stop right now, and scientists must do the research and inform our leaders of all nations and to all people about the current state of health of Earth's elements, with immediate focus on the atmosphere. Further, scientists must study what exactly is the cost of mixing up the many man-made and natural chemicals, poisons, gases, and toxins into the natural existence of life systems. The number one threat we must examine immediately is the impact of weaponry in use now on the already present volatile gases in our atmosphere. In addition, we must examine the probable consequences of further interaction with the unnaturally and naturally made chemicals and gases on the ground. We have so many cocktails of chemicals present in our environment that we have no idea what we are building up in our arsenal of military inventions. We do not know and yet should know that we are playing with fire here. We are playing with human life as we battle in war over natural resources like oil, gas, rare minerals, and gems, and over territory that does not belong to any of us, as we are stewards of the land and not owners. What science does know is limited at best, although intelligent research does already show that war has a terrible impact on human lives and on all species and the land, water, and air in these violent regions. Science does know that any tragic release of nuclear weapons or the blowing up of any nuclear power plants or storage facilities on purpose or inadvertently, because nations are hiding the material used to make the bombs there, does mean and does spell death to many families, including children, the land, the air, and the sea. What science does know is that if this occurs, we cannot reverse it. What science does know is that the Earth will recover over thousands or millions of years, depending on the devastation we inflict, but humans won't. At what cost are we willing to risk the life here on Earth of all species, from humans to animals, birds, and small organisms who will suffer a painful and disturbing death? At what cost are we willing to continue to degenerate the genetic code of life? The second major activity we must bring to a full stop is having chemicals and toxins reaching our food chain by the disruption and inclusion of chemicals and poisons tainting the soil we grow our food on and the water we drink. Our agricultural industry must stop poisoning the human family with chemicals, pesticides, and additives. We must stop using alternatives to real food by serving our kids ultra-processed foods and unhealthy fast foods. If we all agree to do this now while we can, we won't have to do it at another level of emergency that may leave us all scrambling to correct. We must apply due diligence now. We won't need to become helpless to do so later when we are crying out to our leaders, pleading with them to stop, and it's too late. The At What Cost movement is the most important medium for the conservation of life the world has ever seen. We need to all unite and direct the world leaders to act now. We have developed an act of conservation of life and a treaty for all nations to agree upon. Please support the At What Cost movement by signing that you agree with what we all need to do now, and that you have a right to live, a right to health, and a right for your family to have a future. These rights are of great importance that should be natural rights and not something you should have to fight for. These are something we should all have without going to battle for them. This act and treaty have been created for the purpose of bonding all nations in agreement across the planet, starting with major leading global nations who must agree and sign because the people of their country wish to survive and live in peace with proper health and, most importantly, to ensure a healthy future for our children, grandchildren, and generations to come. To all nation leaders, stop and ask yourself, at what cost are you continuing to fight with one another, to kill and maim one another, and destroy the precious life within the cities and towns and rural districts? No one is left untouched. At what cost are you going to look into the eyes of your own children and family and tell them that you find the material resources and territory you're fighting over to be more important than they are? That the arrogant nature of war, dominance, and control is a crime you wish to continue to pursue over the love and health of their young bodies and their young lives? At what cost are we pursuing false luxury and wasteful products? At what cost are we belching out toxic fumes into the air we are supposed to breathe and spewing our sewage directly into the water we are supposed to drink? Please join in on At What Cost, the movement for conservation and preservation of life on this planet. Thank you for listening. Now it's time for action. The future of the human race depends on the decisions we make today. It's time to move beyond a life of just day-to-day survival. Let's all start to live in alignment with the natural laws of our planet. Join the At What Cost movement. Follow us at WaterStarr.com.